Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Tom Kane. I'm with the Center for Applied AI at UMBC Training Centers, and we are here today to look at Google's latest large language model and chatbot Gemini. Just last week on February 8th, Google released Gemini, effectively replaced or rebranded Bard, which was their prior chatbot, and they've released Gemini Advanced, which is powered by their latest and most powerful large language model called Ultra 1.0. So we'll go ahead, we'll look at the UI today, and we'll point out and describe some of the most powerful features of this latest powerful chatbot by Google called Gemini Advanced. So what we're looking at right now is the version of Gemini, which is their free version called Gemini, and it is backed by the large language model Gemini Pro. And if you look at this drop down here, you'll see that there's Gemini and Gemini Advanced. Gemini is their free version. Gemini Advanced is their paid for version. And we'll go ahead and we'll compare those just a little bit later. But let me start by saying that if you go ahead and go to gemini.google.com, you'll see this interface right here. You'll see the chatbot. And if you want to go ahead and upgrade, that's all you'll need to do. Look at the drop down and you can say, hey, I'd like to upgrade to Gemini Advanced. And you'll notice right away that Gemini Advanced is about $20 a month, but for the first 2 months, Gemini Advanced is free, so they want people to go ahead and check it out. So we'll spend most of our time on Gemini Advanced. So here we are looking at Gemini Advanced, and what we'll go ahead and do is look at a little bit of the UI first. You'll notice first you'll notice the hamburger menu over here, which will allow you to expand or contract the menu. This basically has a history of your prior prompts or chats, and then of course you have the start a new chat button or the plus sign. Later on we'll talk about some settings, and in particular we'll discuss the extensions that Google provides, and there's a lot of power in there, but that'll be a bit later in today's talk. So let's go ahead and start with a prompt. What large language model is powering you? Okay, so the first thing you'll notice here is that Gemini Advanced is being powered by Gemini Ultra 1.0, Google's most powerful AI language model to date. The other thing that you'll notice right here is Google gives you an opportunity to look at multiple drafts. And this is a pretty nice feature. Here's draft 1. Draft 2 and 3 that we're taking a look at. Also notice there is an audio button if you'd like to just have this read to you what the result of the prompt is. So I'll go ahead for now, keep those drafts up, and look at another nice thing in the UI. Down here you will notice, well, you can say, hey, good response, bad response. This is pretty nice. There's a modify response. You can make it more casual, more professional. If we were doing something, had a prompt that was asking for something a little bit more creative. But again, you can ask for shorter, longer, simpler. So that's pretty nice. Other nice thing here is Google allows you to double check a response. So I'm going to go ahead and what will happen now is that Google went out and really used their search engine to go ahead and make a decision on to So what exactly is double check response? Well, first of all, you'll notice that a couple of the parts of the response are highlighted, and let's go ahead and we'll expand those. Well, Google search did not find any relevant info there, but right here under the Google AI is always researching and developing new language models. If you click on that and expand, you'll notice that really what double check is Google search going out and trying to verify the results that you are giving, that they are giving to you in the response. So the next thing that we will do is try to do a bit of a comparison between Gemini and Gemini Advanced. And what I'd like to do here is see if we can build a table that compares the two. So the prompt we'll put in is so the prompt that we'll use is one that I just copied and pasted so you don't have to watch me type. Let's generate a table that gives a feature comparison between, and I'll say between Gemini Pro and Gemini Advanced. All right, so we have a table here that compares some of the features between Gemini Pro, which is part of the free version, and Gemini Advanced, which is the paid for version. You'll notice here that there's an export to Google Sheets, which is a feature that we will look at some more. So first of all, core capabilities, excellent at everyday tasks, question answering, etc. But this offers all of Gemini Pro's features with deeper knowledge, more nuanced responses. Google Workspace integration is pretty big. Gemini Pro provides suggestions and summaries within Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides, but we're going to see that there is a deeper integration between Gemini Advanced and the various Google apps. Coding assistance functions as a powerful coding copilot, aids in debugging, suggests functions, etc., and in-depth research. I'm going to ask for a little bit more. Can you add some additional technical feature comparisons to that table? Let's see. Okay, so what do we get this time? So we get some things like model size, response speed, and I was looking at something like this. Please add information about training data. Can you compare image processing? And tell me more about each model's ability for creative reasoning. Okay, this time what do we get? Training data. So Gemini Pro is trained on a massive data set of text and code, but Gemini Advanced is trained on a much broader data set that includes text code and image data. Relative to image processing, Gemini Advanced is definitely better than Gemini Pro on image processing capabilities. And while Gemini can generate creative text formats, Gemini Advanced, as it says, basically gives you much greater problem solving abilities and may suggest novel concepts and find unusual connections between the ideas. Okay, so that's it for the comparison of Gemini versus Gemini Advanced and some of the basics of the UI. Let's go ahead and move on to some more important and candidly fun features.